Hello everyone, welcome to another video with me, Berets. Today I'm going to be doing the raid guide video, but first, for that, couple notes. First of all, please don't leave in the comment section about your opinions on the raid. That's really not what this is for. This is really for a help video. So if you have some helpful comments in the section, I mean, if you do want to leave something nasty, I'll just delete it anyway. Not really a problem for me. But also, one other quick note: in my most recent video for the JP side, I did talk about a brand new summon coming to the JP side, which is Titan. Titan is now available. His card is available, and yeah, he's a pure space summon. Nothing to do with Fist. Earth elements, so I guess he's an incredibly good summon for Eileen, which is interesting, considering that Eileen's also potentially good for the JP raid. But yeah, kind of unexpected. Just wanted to bring that up real quick, and now we can get on with the video. Because I am going to be taking you guys a little bit to school. If you come from a Brave Exvius background, you know how raids work there. That is not this system. This is not the Brave Exvius raid system. It is very much a supplementary system. As a matter of fact, I would describe it as being essentially a secondary content to whatever it is that you are also doing. Because the primary goal of the raid is to get currency, and with that currency you can spend it in the Mog shop to get recipes for powerful equipment, rainbow rocks, UR orbs, farming materials, awakening materials, books, those are nice too. All of this stuff is what you can get from the raid, and if you have started playing on the global side, you may have noticed that there is not much currency to begin with, and you all may also be wondering, hey, why can't I access this? Why can't I access certain rooms? Not a problem. I am here to tell you. So first of all, let's take a look at the primary design of the raid. The primary design of the raid is not meant to be one and done. It is not meant to be a very quick. It is meant to be a snowball effect. In other words, you are going to be farming this over multiple days, and I hit the wrong button there. It's okay. We just hit back and it loads right back in here. But the way it works is based on two things. A ranking system, because let's face it, everything in this game has a ranking system, as well as a snowballing effect to how much you are doing. So taking a look, like you get certain rewards going all the way up for depending on whether you are participating in someone else's raid or building your own raid as well. Hosting your own raid gives you certain extra things such as crafting materials. Taking a look at the JP side here, let's take a look at the quartet really quickly, and also the pair, because you have three ways of tackling your own raids. You can do it solo, which basically you will just use all of your own characters, all of your own equipment, and you won't use anybody else's stuff. And to that one, you get, you know, some rewards and everything like that. Joining other people's will mostly primarily give you gold and currency. So there's definitely a benefit to hosting your own raids as opposed to other people's raids. But as you can see, as we get into Quartet, you can basically every time scan and see how much you are actually getting from each and every phase. So it's not you can basically see what you are going to get every step of the way. And the thing you'll notice is that the currency starts snowballing much higher at the much higher raids. Especially the crafting materials that you get from here. I can't understate how valuable they are for building the equipment that you can get from raids. And last, not as I've already talked about, the ranking. You can earn some extra lapis by having a decent ranking, like getting over 1,000 gives you 900 lapis, some of the hammers, and a fair chunk of currency as well. Here you can see that we're getting some hammers from this current JP raid, but placing top 1,000 gives you a total of 8,000 extra currency, which you can use to buy a fair bunch of extra stuff, so it's kind of nice. But yeah. What you are looking at in the term of the general design of the raid is basically a snowball over time. As you continue to farm, as you get higher and higher, you will get more and more stuff. Now, here's the next important question. How do I spawn the damn thing, Umbra? Like, I can't even get into it. Well, here's how that works. So let's pick a stage that I currently need to farm, which is books. I need to farm books like there is no tomorrow. So let's just up my stamina a little bit. There we go. And we're just going to let this run. And so basically every single raid instance takes about 40 stamina to proc. It can take a little bit more, it can take a little bit less. It seems to have a particular set amount of RNG to when it spawns, but there is definitely a certain amount of stamina that it does take for the raid to initially spawn. So raids are meant to be secondary content in the fact that you are still doing your regular farming, you're just getting something else that procs every so often that you can use. And for people who are complaining about, oh, it's interrupting my auto farm, you want to do raids. You want to do raids. You want the equipment that you bring because they are very nice equipment. So having a fast map or potentially just using skip tickets on story-based content will get you through to proccing a raid pretty darn quickly. However, you should be still continuing to farm what you need to farm for any equipment or accessories or armor, whatever you are doing, you basically just continue. And raids are kind of something that will just pop up every so often, kind of like the Whimsy shop. Now, interestingly enough, as a history note for any of you global players, the first raid on the JP side, you know, the one that you didn't get during the FF14 days, took approximately, and I'm not even joking, my very first raid took over 300 stamina to get to show up. Needless to say, things have been improved since then. Not just that, but the rewards as well have been generally improved from what they used to be. They used to be pretty low, and now they have been, like, you generally just get more. The raids happen more often, and just the general good stuff that you're getting is also way better. So yeah, I have to say that while it may be a little bit of a shock to globalers about how this raid system happens, I mean, you're basically doing your normal stuff anyway, and this is just kind of giving you something extra to do. Why haven't we won by now? But yeah, it is primarily based around that idea of just having it set up a certain way so that you can continue doing what you are doing, because and then you get your raid instance and you can use that raid instance. However, you can also leech off other people if you are just looking for currency. As I've said, and this will be based on, I guess, of how much stamina you have stockpiled. But anyway, continuing on, it really is more beneficial to just be running your own raids, in my opinion. You can throw your orbs and just jump in when you're out of stamina and still be making progress towards the raid. That is totally a thing. But yeah, at one time for the JP side, it was 300 plus stamina, and the rewards were not as good. So it has been improved. It will probably be improved further over time, and if you're worried about weapons or armor or equipment that is available in the shop in terms of recipes, don't, because by the time, like, as a note from the JP side experience, we have gotten multiple instances where the raid has returned with equipment again. So it has been repetitious for some recipes coming back. Not all the recipes. It seems like there are usually about 3 recipes in there. Is, you know, okay, not great, but you don't have to worry about over farming. And by the time you get to a level 80 raid, or, you know, just close to the end of the raid, you're probably going to be looking at a net capital of about 50 to 60,000 currency, which is a fair amount to buy basically everything important from the shop. UR weapons and UR equipment from crafting recipes take a lot more to get done. So it is definitely, again, for people who haven't figured this out about WOTV yet, I'll say this again, WOTV is very much a long-term based project system where you have content that is generally meant to take a while, probably for no surprise the fact that it is meant to pad out a little bit until the developers can get going more with trial content and difficult content later. So hey, you know, it's just game's still in early days, is my opinion. Sorry, my ears are itchy, and I'm still kind of waiting for this to finish up. But yeah, getting a raid to proc is pretty darn fast, and just waiting for it, like, it's good that it interrupts the system, because there is something to note as well. Proccing your own raids, you can only get one at a time. You cannot stockpile instances. It's not like you can throw 600 stamina in your account, hit the auto button, and just let it run, and by the time it's done, you have so many raid instances. That's not how this works. If it doesn't proc this time, I'll just use some skips tickets in the story to make this go a little bit faster. But you have to note that you have to finish your instance of a raid every time, as well as, and I do believe this is actually a thing, collecting the rewards is important. You need to finish collecting the rewards from your raid instance, otherwise it will not pop up a second raid instance. Also, really quick shout out to Glacia, who I am absolutely adoring and totally not stalling for time. Totally not. Originally in my Heart of Hearts, this was supposed to be like done by now. So anyway, I mean, like, I never get time to chill in these videos, and people are like, well, why don't you produce your videos a little bit more? It's because I do like it when my videos have that certain more one go kind of feel. Like, I feel like, wow, that's actually really difficult to do all of that in just one go. And so you're just kind of, you know, talking to people normally. Yeah, normally this process goes a little bit faster, but it's fine. And the music's calming too, so that's nice and enjoyable. All right. This should be it, and if not, we will speed this a little bit up to get one to proc. And of course, it's actually, I can't believe this happened. Of course it would happen. This is, I guess, another feature that I can talk about on the JP side raids that will also be coming to future global raids too, is rare raids. With the most two recent raids on the JP side, so for globalers you'll have to wait one more, there are rare raids that proc as well. So here you can see a bonus enemy that is coming up here. This is the Tonberry that I'm going to use to just fight solo. We're going to be running at 2x speed and with auto, because I do want to make a certain point. Now, as you have noticed, there are green orb currencies, and those orbs are for actually entering the raid, but not on your first go. Any raid instance that you do for the first time will not use up a raid orb. If you have to come back and beat it in 2 times, that will actually require using some of the green orbs. So it ends up being a limiter at high level raids where the HP of a raid boss spirals much quicker. Like, the raid bosses, as they go up in terms of level, are much higher. And also, for anybody who's curious, the raid bosses, the rare raid bosses actually only have level 1 to level 10, where normal raid bosses have a level 1 to level 100. So rare raid bosses are much faster. I wonder if he has auto kill, he said, terrified all of a sudden. Something you'll also note about the raid maps is that they do have ads. These ads are basically there to waste your character's time and make clearing things much slower. As you can see, you do have a 20 turn time count, and if you cannot complete it, then you will have to just go again. Raid bosses' HP are preserved between one go and a secondary go. So if you get a high HP boss down to about 10,000, when you come back, they will still be at 10,000 HP, allowing you to finish off the boss. Also, rare raids give much more currency, which is good. So as you can see, we have now cleared the raid instance. We will go through to the results screen where we get scored. We will also get our bonuses from completing it, and then we will be done and out. Now, as a raid boss gets more difficult, this is something really important to note about raid bosses. Raid bosses, as they go up, get more and more difficult, and not just in terms of HP and strength, but also the ads as well. They also get new abilities. If, and I am remembering correctly, one of the biggest jumps is from at level 40. You will see, first of all, something you will note here is that there is an actual milestone. You get all of a sudden 4,000 raid currency just for hitting level 40. That is when the raid takes a jump in difficulty. At level 60, you hit a raid difficulty increase, and at level 80 and level 100. So basically every 20 levels, the raid will become much more difficult, including new abilities, status effects, higher evasion rates. Basically, yeah, just more and more challenge as you are going up, but they are not unmanageable. It is possible just to ram your face into it a whole bunch of time using multiple orbs and getting through it. So let's just try and get a second one to proc here. We'll take a character that I know I need some resources for. Go into something like this. No, we won't, because I can't skip ticket it. Truly, this will be one of the best videos. Alright, here we go. Let's use some of my stamina pot hoard. I know, you can comment about that in the video if you want. 10 of them. Whoop. Look at all that stuff I got. Done. So as you can see, the first time I was able to fight a Tonberry, which is real great for this video because that also showed off another feature, but now I'm up against a level 21, which will be harder than the previous stages. So in this time, something to note is that once you pick a type of room, you are stuck in that room. JP will be adding, I believe this month, an update that will allow you to change the room type, but please be careful about which type of room you are choosing. So for this one, let's do a duet, which will require me to bring 2 of my characters and someone else to bring 2 of theirs. For fastest ways to get extra people in the room, as you can see, I don't know if this is a bug or if this just works better, but by doing this, I seem to just get better results of people clicking into my room. So, also really nice name there. I don't know, maybe it's Fudgy. But going in, again, the ads can be dangerous sometimes, but for the most part, they're generally just there to use up some AP, make your clears a little bit slower, and make that 20 turn time counter be quite difficult. During the Ifrit raid, something that I was noting, it took a fair amount of sometime to be able to beat a raid. Especially level 80, it could take upwards of 3 orbs or more trying to get it done. So it's just kind of a thing where it becomes more grindy as you go up, but the rewards get better to balance it out, including incredibly rare crafting materials that you will need for some of the better equipment. So it kind of works out, but if you're really stressed out about the fact that day 1 you're not hitting Berry, Well, I mean, it's meant to be done over a long number of days, and at 40 stamina over the course of a day, while you're doing your hard quests, while you're doing your guild farming, while you're doing farming for other awakening materials, books, all that kind of stuff, hey, guess what? You just end up getting more and more raids, and eventually it will build up to a fair amount of progress. But if you are super impatient, this raid will be pretty difficult. So let's take a look here. So now that I've gone, another reason why I was timing to wait to show this video is the fact that now I've gone from 20 to 21, which means that my rewards have also gotten better. No longer am I in that previous bracket tier, I'm actually in a higher bracket tier, which will give me, again, more crafting materials, which you do need, more resources, and you will also be scored on how well you do. It's not super as important if you are just participating, but still should be noted. Now, one last thing, and this is a very important thing to note, on the first day, trying to join somebody else's raid rooms will usually result in an error message. It is nothing to do with the fact that you have problems with your device or problems with anything. For whatever reason, trying to get into raid rooms on the first day is usually really difficult for whatever reason, whether people are just clearing them too fast or whatever. Again, this is a problem that has been known since many raids ago, and it is still a continuing problem. It's nothing serious. You don't have to worry about it too much, and just continue going on about it. That's why for the first day or two, I really recommend just focusing on your own raids, possibly joining friends raids or guilds raids as well, and you will be able to just, by day 2, or day 3, there will be much more raid rooms populated. There's also going to be a feature added in the near future on the JP side, which will allow you to just find a room without having to go through this convoluted system. I know this system is bad. That is why they are changing it, and it will be a quality of life update very soon for the JP side and eventually on global. But that's basically it. That is basically your raid guide. It is going to be a little bit foreign. It is definitely different than the Brave Exvius side, but it is, should, and will be viewed as supplementary content. Keep farming, keep doing what you're doing. It allows you to get progress in the game while still progressing in the raid. It's a little bit of a different system, but it's totally fine, and you'll get used to it. Or you'll quit. One of those two. Or, you know, just pass on the raid and there's a future raid. Anyway, hope you found this video. If you know other people who are having difficulty, please share this video with them so that they can get all the information. And that's it for me. I'm out. Take care. See you next time.